Almost all my clients come to me as exhausted, tired. You wake up already behind. You push through the day fueled by caffeine and willpower. And if you work in full time, by the time you finish the work and finally start working on your business, your brain is exhausted. Then you would have to think about your growth, your strategy, your new offers, how to increase your income. But your brain is fired. And you tell to yourself, tomorrow I'll sleep early, tomorrow I'll come back as fresh. But tomorrow is exactly the same, and your income is not increasing. Maybe it's continuing for months and for years. If this is describing your life, bear with me because in this video I'm going to explain what is happening with you, why you are in the circle of anxiety, how to break free from this circle, how to finally be fully yourself and be at your full capacity to make this work. My name is Nauman. I am an accountant, auditor, turned into a coach. For the last 2 years, I've been coaching hundreds of people. The clients that come to me are usually the ones that wants to make more money in their business, who wants to transition their career, and those who wants to find their true calling. After I finished my bachelor in accounting and finance, I started working in different companies like Brookfield, KPMG, banks, to pursue my career, to pursue the happiness and success in my career. Now I'm using all my skills and talents to provide services for people, talk to them, provide direction and compassion that I do with joy. If this topic interests you, please subscribe to my channel so this can be your friend when it comes to making the big decisions in your life, when you need to consult with a good friend. I'll be there for you. I know you are the person that's doing all the work by yourself. You fought hard for your life. Every day you rush through your client work, family issues. Everything is all on you. You've been doing it for years and years, and it's been working just fine. But right now, you're feeling exhausted. You feel like you cannot continue this anymore. The reason why I'm so confident in sharing this video is because it's not just you. It's not a personal feeling. It's a pandemic era of stress. A 2025 AFLAC workforce survey shows 72% of entrepreneurs and workers are experiencing medium to high level anxiety on a daily basis. Burnout level in the US workforce turned from 36% in 2003 to 51% in 2024, which was the sharpest increase that researchers found in this history of records. 42% of the entrepreneurs and business owners are experiencing anxiety and chronic stress just in past month. And 77% of the entrepreneurs are not seeking professional help. If you're finding yourself so drained by Zoom calls, meetings after meetings, you are not alone. In this video, I'm going to share some of the methods you can immediately use so that you feel at ease, you get knowledge, and you give yourself some time to examine what's really happening in your life. Now, as a coach, now I have the education, now I work with hundreds of people, and I understand that just like every other person, I am a human. I'm not a robot. I'm not built to work hard. I am a human that needs to work hard, reset, work hard, take a break. More specifically, the way our brains are built is incredible. It has this adaptation system, and adaptation system goes slowly and gradually that we don't even notice what we are doing to our brain. Just like the muscles grow over time when you are working on it, the brains are working the same way. So what I'm trying to say is when you're working nonstop, when you're not taking breaks, you are operating on that stress cycle. The only way to break free is intentional breaks. You have to incorporate in your life what your true advantage is, true power is as a human. Our true power holds in our conscious decision. We are always given an opportunity to make decisions. When we are scrolling through the social media, when you are writing an email, when you are spending time on sales calls, on HR calls, when you're spending time on meetings, we are adapting our brains by repeating those things. All the work that we are doing leads us to have a very narrow mindset of not having enough. That is the result of adaptation of working nonstop without even taking breaks. I also want to bring up the concept of decision fatigue. Average decision that we make is 35,000 per day. Every single decision you make, starting from what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, how you're going to work, and it takes away from your finite energy. So what you're currently doing is you're trying to build a 6 or 7 figure business from a place of scarcity mindset. When you sit down at 8 p.m. trying to figure out what your business strategy is going to look like, what posts you're going to prepare for the day, when you're trying to establish your entrepreneurship, you are basically working from a survival mode nervous system. And it won't happen unless you take changes in your life. Let me share some truth that nobody wants to hear. It comes from my experience from working with hundreds of clients who are exhausted and tired, who wants to make more money, who wants to sustain their life. You probably heard you have to work hard, you have to be the best student from your parents, from the people that are older than you. But you have to remember that society that we are living in, the environment we are living in, is so different than how it used to be in the past. The technology grows so much that it is taking away a lot of our mental capacity. We are drained into abundant choices. We have a new problem that they didn't have, which is making a decision from an abundant choices, which is always around us. So now that we have the technology, we have much more resources available to us. Now the strategy is changing. Instead of physically performing all the work like we used to do in the past, now we can use the technology to work less hours, but at the full capacity. For that, we need to learn how to use our brain at the full capacity. And that can be done only when we can utilize our body how it's supposed to work. We have to synchronize our activities with our natural rhythm of the body. The best decision that you can make comes from a relaxed brain. So our choice is now, how can we relax? How can we take breaks when we are living in such a busy environment, in this stimulating environment? I'll give you 4 examples on how to make this work. 70% of the entrepreneurs who work out regularly report a lower burnout. So when you see the huge leaders like presidents of the United States, presidents of different countries, and high-performing individuals walking on their backyard, it's not because they don't have anything to do. It's because they know how to use their brain. They also know that walking in the street on their own, relaxing, can increase the potential. The best ideas come from my walks. Try this out for 1 month in a row. Take a time for 20 minutes of walk or 1 hour of walk and get closer to the nature. That's when you perform at the best, and it is fascinating how this works. 51% of the entrepreneurs say automation and delegation can reduce their burnout level. It doesn't come from more discipline, but it comes from better management. I know it's really hard for you to delegate, to trust somebody, to spend some time finding the right people at the right price, but it is worth it. It is worth exploring. There are so many opportunities that are given to us where we can find people, even the students, who can do the simple things with a very low instruction and training. There are so many opportunities that I used that I could delegate the work. I started heavily using the technology. I started trusting the technology that they can help me reduce some of my workload, and they do. Next is probably one of the most important out of all is prioritizing the work. My recommendation is always rank your to-do list with matter of importance and matter of urgency. If you see the to-do list has high importance and urgency, you can start from there. But ideally, you want to do things that are important but low urgency, because these are the things that can bring you a sustainable success. The things that are high urgency but low importance, you would like to delegate, and the low importance and low urgency, you want to eliminate. This sounds like a theory, but in real life, when you start ranking them, when you start deciding which ones you want to take, you come to a very interesting point where it feels like you've been doing the activity for the last few years, but now you realize it wasn't as important. When I started working as a coach, when I started building my business, I realized most of the work was not important when it comes to making more money, building a strategy foundation for my business. Things like being extremely organized, spending time in coloring my tables, looking good, they weren't as important. What was surprisingly important is when I write the letter to myself, it feels like it's not that important for my business, but it recharges me. It increases my capacity. It polishes how I think, the sharpness of my decisions. And the last thing I would like to recommend is take some reflection time. Dedicate a time where you're reflecting on your goals, reflecting on what you want to achieve. And it can't be making money, because money is supposed to come as a byproduct of your main goal. So now, if you're thinking about, if money is not my goal, so what is my goal? That's going to be a very interesting question. How can you serve at your full potential in a most joyful way to your customers? What is it that you're trying to share, deliver to your clients? What is the problem that you are solving? And always reflect if you are on the right direction, because it's so easy to slowly and gradually go to a different direction when you start feeling like, oh, this isn't what I wanted to do. But because you didn't have time to reflect on a daily basis on your priorities, on your goals, you can easily shift and no longer want to be living in your life. Here's what I want you to walk away with. The reason why you can't break the income ceiling is not because you're not working hard enough, but it is because you're not utilizing your fullest potential as a human. Now, let's focus on coming back to our bodies, coming back to our brain that was given to us, to work in their full potential. So we bring in more joy into our life, we bringing in more purpose into our life, and it's going to start from doing 4 things that I mentioned: working out, ranking the work, delegating and automation, and always reflecting if you are on the right direction. If you want to work with me as your coach, I am offering you my free discovery call where we can sit 1 hour, 1 full hour together and talk about you, how we can help you to get to the right direction, how we can help you to shift from stress and anxiety cycle to working from a full potential where you're happy, excited about your life and purpose. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.